me, entrepreneurship has always been the way.
Investing is important because it's the only way you are going to be able to get rich and wealthy for your family. We can close the wealth gap by working together.
Market Monday is the biggest investment show ever.
My life has literally changed since watching EYL.
When you can make people money and you can add value, they're going to be forever indebted to you.
And I promise you this year, I'm going to make y'all even more money.
Disclaimer, do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Let's build our knowledge, our community, and our brokerage accounts. Love is love.
What's up? What's the tip?
Mic check 1, 2. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. And now I don't. There's a slight echo. Like, I'm not sure if you muted out, but just if you can check, that would be great. Welcome back. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How y'all feeling, y'all?
Feel good, man. Feel good, man. Post. There's an echo, Mike. Please mute your computer. How you doing, brother?
Blessed, highly favored, thankful, grateful. All the things, my brother. All the things.
Came back with the suit on him.
Ghost. Yeah, Escobar season has returned. Getting back to rare form.
As a fact, man. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Everybody that was at Invest.
I think that it might be from your computer. Just check the settings real quick on the computer. I feel like when we talk, there's an echo coming through from your side. Just check on it. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back, everybody that attended. Hopefully you are home safe, or you were still in the place where you last saw us safely watching this. It was a historical weekend. It was a magical weekend. I'm sure we'll get over all the details later. To be here with my brothers, sharing this with you. And one of the things that people said to us all weekend, for sure, was the amount of consistency that we display. Time after time after time, no matter where we are in the world, we are making sure that this happens. And so today is no different from any other time. It's an important week, and it's an important day because so we appreciate y'all support and love. I'm sure all y'all felt it individually. I know I did. It was overwhelming. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that showed up, showed out. We took pictures with.
Ian, I don't just mute on your side, and then just unmute when you talk. Thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it. Technical difficulties, but what can you do? The show must go on. Invest Fest was amazing. We'll talk about it later on. This week, Blackout. We have an amazing show planned. Myself and Ian, we back. Blackout Vibes, Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And Thursday at 12 o'clock, make sure you tap in. We back with a new EYL episode, Miss Business. Shout out to Miss Business. She did it super big inside the vendor marketplace, per usual.
Yeah.
Had a 200-foot TV teleprompter, the whole jumbotron.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And also, she spoke twice, I believe. She was on a panel and she did a workshop.
Yeah.
She awarded the best booth to Sway. Shout out to Sway. It was
cash prizes.
She goes over and above every single year. So shout out to her.
Yeah. When I look at how busy we are during the week of Invest Fest, I often wonder, can anybody kind of understand? And when I look at what Shaquana's done Invest Fest week, you're talking about the kickoff party Thursday, obviously the booth, but making sure that they're mentoring all the vendors, the new coming vendors, the ones that have been there before, how to manage your business, how to manage expectations, and vet new leads inside that marketplace. Then going out and looking at each vendor and seeing how she can help and improve the presentation to the point now where she has winners. Then speaking on stage twice. It's an incredible feat, man. Shout out to her. She did an incredible job this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So, but without further ado, we're gonna hand it over to the brother Ian. Ian, what's the deal? Talk about whatever you say. Back to the week.
I had a great time at Invest Fest. I want to thank you guys publicly for the partnership, the brotherhood, the friendship. Rashad for the intro. Troy for your words before I got on stage. Shout out to Miss Business. I told her, I'm like, I don't know how you do this every year, like to over deliver. If I had a booth, I'm not gonna lie, I would have tore my shit down. Like she had the band and everything, so I had an amazing time. And I want to have an amazing show. Investing fact of the week. I went over it on stage. Shout out to everybody who was there for my presentation and performance. A lot of times people are constantly asking about a crash, and since 2009, the market has only been down 3 times maximum over that time period. So opposed to looking for the next big short, be in the market in perpetuity for long periods of time. 2022 we had a drop. I think 2012 we had a drop. But every other year, especially post-recession, has been up. And even for the years that we do have a tremendous drop, like if the market falls down 35%, the next year is up 45%. Stop waiting for the market to crash. You're causing your own personal recession by not holding for long periods of time.
That's a fact.
How I'm sounding audio-wise, Rashad?
No, you sound good. It was never you. It was just us.
Okay.
So
okay.
This feedback we talk. Yes, sir.
When there's feedback when we talk. So that's why I'm saying when we speak, just mute out, and then we can bring you back. Investing fact of the week. Anything you want to say about investing?
Yeah, I mean, I think mine's, and I had to remind myself, man, stay diligent to the craft. I felt like I was so overwhelmed by what was going on during the week that I almost forgot it was Friday. Right, like I remember when the market opened on Friday, I was like 9:30, but I couldn't get to it almost felt like something was missing from my day. And that's because the level of diligence that I, displayed throughout the course of the past 7 years of just every day studying, trying to find something new, trying to learn something new so I can teach something new. So Thursday and Friday for me I felt like part of my day was missing. I was seeing text messages coming through. I'm talking to people at the same time. I'm trying to read charts. I think one of the dopest parts is that inside of that, I mixed both, right? So we were talking to the Earners Academy. Shout out to all the young adults that pulled up, and they were opening brokerage accounts. And so it was a chance for me to look at what was happening inside of the market while teaching them how to open brokerage accounts and how they should be looking at it. So I was able to tie 2 things in at the same time. But yeah, man, being diligent. You'll see the payoff, number one, but you'll start to feel it. Like there's just a feeling like something's missing from your day when you're not doing that. So stay diligent to the craft.
All right, Ian, let's see how this works now. You got the headphones on.
All right, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do we sound?
You sound great.
You sound good. So
and we sound good.
I'm trying to see. Okay, that was the key.
There it is.
The microphone. Okay.
All right.
We seem to have a solution to the issue that we had.
We live, by the way.
Thank God. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, we are live. We are live. For all you live warriors. Yes. This is AI. No, you're not.
Shout out to all the live warriors out there.
Hey.
Okay, let's talk about the trading tip of the week.
I'm going to be very honest. I had a bunch of amazing conversations, amazing dinner with the Red Panda millionaires last night. You won't make hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars by over trading, and anybody who's taking more than 5 trades a week, you're going to be broke. I had a chance to talk to a lot of traders. Troy, I had a chance to talk to Kev before y'all took off. The thing that I'm seeing from a lot of people in Red Panda, there's one correlation that I see from everyone who is making 100,000 in a month or a quarter from trading, and some of them have made millions as a result. They all take 1 or 2 trades a week. I don't care how much you love trading. At some point, you have to have a cutoff time. And for me, I can see if you're not trading from 8:30 to 9:30 and then stopping and then trading the last hour of the close, if you're trading at 11:15 or 12:45, Whatever lie you tell, I know you're lying. You're not making a lot of money because you're giving it away. Have a separate laptop to be able to watch the market on. Like on my Apple laptop, I don't have NinjaTrader. I have it on my desktop at home and on my black trading computer. On the laptop I'm on now, I can just watch the market and I can place investments. The biggest mistake that people are making is being in the market too much with their account open. You need 1 to 2 trades a week. Otherwise, you deserve to be broke. And don't argue with me saying that, oh, I disagree. Because when you go look at that P&L over a quarter or year to year, you're negative. Less is more. But you can do what you want. I choose to be rich. Back in my Ghost 5. Back to you, Tron Rashad.
Choose to be rich. We are going to,
Mike, I'm going to switch my mic off. Just bring us back in.
because apparently we're not on the audio.
Let's see. Let's just see.
Ian.
Now it's time to be devious. Swing trading tip of the week. No, but all jokes aside, if you are over trading, figure out a way to hit your goal by taking 1 to 2 trades a week and then stopping at 4 months or 5 months. You don't need to trade 12 months out of the year. I think it's a mistake. You end up getting burned out. If you trade 12 months in a row, figure out how to hit your goal by trading 1 to 2 times a week for 4 or 5 months and then having a season off where you end up stopping.
Hey man, how we doing now? We sound better now?
Oh, how's it sound? Okay, now we back. Ooh.
Yeah.
I said I brought up the soup for nothing. No.
No. We ain't going out like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, so it was y'all.
This time it was us.
You know what? The theme of the last month, everything's y'all fault.
You know, but guess
Y'all
what?
make the traffic bad, the airport bad. You brought other people to Atlanta. Shout out to the city of Atlanta. I love you.
Somebody walked up to me and said, "You know what my code is? There's a solution for all of it, and there's always a solution for all of it." So we back. I'm gonna give my trading tip real quick, and then we'll move on to the next thing, man. All right. So, and this is important, and I like what you said about not trading in certain settings, right? You said you got a specific computer. I don't like trading on my phone. I feel like I'm more effective when I got my setup. Yeah, I'll do it every now and then, but if I had a preference, it would be with my MacBook, with my screen, going through all the research before I make that decision. So I like that you said that. Yeah. So there's a lot of people like, oh, shout out to our team. We got some guys who are involved in some short-term trading, and so they're like, I'm in the car. Shout out to the pros. But I like to probably be in the setting of my home in front of my computer where I'm supposed to be focused. But mine is this, man. Time doesn't eliminate risk, but investing is one of the best ways to survive. So it's kind of right. You got to think about.
It's in the same alignment. Yep.
It's in the same alignment, man. The most valuable asset in investing is time. We saw it happen at a grand scale 2 weeks ago, right? When we talk about the Leopold scenario, had he been given more time, or had he probably could have survived this.
Oh yeah. And also Sam Bankman-Fried.
Another
Those are two
person.
big stories. If they had more, yes.
Now, at a very micro scale, a lot of us are starting to feel like, hey, the market is moving in a downward trend. This is our opportunity to take more risk, or we should be risk on. And partially, yes, when people are fearful, you should be greedy. But at that same mindset, you should be giving yourself the maximum amount of time for that trade to actually fulfill its own destiny, right? So if you're in options, this is when you're going to look out 18 months, 2 years. You have to have that mindset, and you have to be patient inside that mindset. So please just remember that. It doesn't eliminate all risk, but it helps you survive. And that's the key, man, surviving the next day.
Rashad's been the best at that. Like, I know he don't want to say it because he's getting in this humble bag, but like the selection of trades that Rashad would do on the option side, I got to give you a lot of credit for it. And it's really important, and maybe you can speak to Rashad, having other ventures going on so it doesn't cause you to overtrade. Some traders don't have enough going on, and as a result, they end up spending all day in the market, which it ends up being counterproductive. Can you talk about that a little bit? How being busy in other areas allows you to be really patient in the trades that you take to give you a high win percentage, like in Micron.
Yeah, for sure. You got to be,
You got to have discipline, and then you also have to have other things going on, so you're not just totally relying on trying to hit a home run every single time. Balance your emotions, not do too much, not put too much of your portfolio at risk. I feel like it's like when they always say never negotiate when you need money, or never, if even if you need money, never act like you need money in a negotiation,
Mhm.
like, or when you're trying to get money, or when you're trying to get a deal, because you can't really think clearly when you're in survival mode. And you start to do irrational things when you really need something, just in life in general, right? Like you see that happen all the time. Like people will justify anything. Like they'll justify committing crimes because it's like, that's the biggest thing, right? And like rap music, or yo, I had to do what I had to do because I had to eat. Well, what does that really mean? Like you gonna kill somebody because you have to eat? Like, you know what I mean? But if you in survival mode, you can find a way to justify anything. The same thing with trading. If you in survival mode and trading is going to be like, I need this money to pay my rent, then you
Oh, it's
can
over with.
justify, yeah, you could justify breaking all discipline. You can justify doing things that don't make sense. You can, like you said yesterday during your presentation, pray, ask God to get you out of the trade.
Yeah,
Um,
for real.
and that's not how you want to go about it. You don't want to have to try to use this as a survival mechanism. That's
Mhm.
important. Don't, because people do want to trade for a living. And and you saw what happened even in South Korea. People committed suicide when they lost their life savings because they was double leveraged, triple leveraged, and they were replacing a level of income with just trading. So you can trade for income, but that's why we always teach about entrepreneurship. I think it goes hands in hand. Business
Yeah.
revenue comes in, that money gets invested, then you can trade. Like when you're only trading and that's the only source of revenue that you totally have, I think that's actually pretty dangerous.
You're still trading time for money. People say, well, I want my time freedom and I want to have an asset working, but now you're making less. And now your insurance premiums are through the roof and every other expense. Now you have a bunch of pressure on you. Like you said, most people don't survive. The biggest thing you can do to be a great trader is to have a bunch of other revenue sources coming in. Like you said, I agree 1,000%.
Amen.
So let's get into this InvestFest recap and lessons. Shout out to everybody that was at InvestFest. Man, it was an impactful moment. Went from Thursday to Sunday, 4 days. Thursday was a youth day, and then we did the Locks event documentary at night. Then the
Hmm.
after parties, Miss Business had a party, Circle of CEOs had a party, and then Friday was all day workshops and seminars, and the vendor marketplace was open, and then Saturday, full day, the panels, and then Sunday. So man, it's too much to actually recap. We can have a whole show about the recap, but I'll just say a couple highlights for me. I think the Locks documentary was really dope. Way to kick off the weekend, Thursday night. Those guys are people that we knew forever, pretty much. But
Hmm.
it was dope to hear their story told through their eyes. They stayed to watch it. Kiss was making commentary throughout the movie. It was a really good dope moment. That was super dope. Black tie gala is the one. That's the one. That's the new thing. That's the new thing.
Brilliant idea, yo. Ooh,
The
Lord.
black
Had the
the
time.
black tie gala,
Mhm.
that's the one. That is going to have that has a lot of potential, man. It was so many people there. It
Yeah.
was so much vibe. They stayed till 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it turned into a club. It was
Yeah.
it was
I
unbelievable.
was in there.
Jagged Edge went crazy. We had
Hmm.
Ti, we had Jermaine Dupri, we had Big Bank in the building, Keisha Lansbottom. Big Meech pulled up with tuxedo on. It was legendary. It was crazy. Black tie night was crazy. That's gonna be no. That's this new staple for VIP. I think we found.
Yeah.
I think we found one with that.
I
Like,
I I, I
Yeah, I
want
got a
to.
gym in that.
I just gotta just say this part that I want to thank everybody that showed up because we kind
mm,
of was saying like somebody might try to wear the t-shirt or wear the sneakers, and when I walked in and I looked around, I said, "My God, look how good we look! Like, look how good we all look when we
Yeah.
just follow a thing. Like, this is the thing. The event was incredible. Seeing everybody dressed to a T was incredible. But when the programming ended and we went into that back room, bro, for the first time in a long time, I saw people enjoying themselves at a party. I don't know the last time I saw people dancing, having fun. There was a dance battle. I looked in the middle of who it was, and it was Matt's kids. Shout out to MG. They kicked off the dance battle. People were enjoying themselves, and I was just standing there smiling, just thinking to myself, damn, I really miss this. And this is all before swag surfing has happened. You know, when swag surfing, that's going to be galvanizing thing. There was a Soul Train line, there was a swag surf, the electric slide happened. Everybody is dressed to the T, and I'm like, yo, this is what opulence and excellence looks like. I just got to get that little part off because it was so beautiful. I just smiled. My feet was hurting, but I was just so happy to see us celebrating each other because of what this weekend was going to be. Go ahead, keep going.
That was dope vibe, man. As I'm talking about Big Meech, Southwest T just text us. Salute to the guys, man.
What up, though?
Okay, VIP night crazy. T.I., Jagged Edge, Kenny Burns. Man, it was crazy. It was a movie. The fellas came out. The ladies came out, dressed to the nine. Then Saturday, man, it was a lot of moments on Saturday. A lot of moments. Obviously, I think one of the biggest moments was when we brought the mayor of Atlanta on stage.
Listen, this is why I want to do my honors to y'all. This is a business case study 101. A great marketing move, great PR move, and then to tie in the unity to bring the mayor out at the event was one of the most powerful moves I've seen in business in a long time, bro. I got to give y'all credit for all the behind-the-scenes dialogue, all the conversations, and also for every party involved to put the ego away. But from a business standpoint, when I started getting the calls like, yo, y'all playing this, I'm like, this wasn't playing. It was a great move. So I'm proud of y'all for having that moment to silence everything out. Bank started it, I feel like, on the black market. And then to have him on stage at the end, beautiful.
No, that's a fact. That was big. That was big for the culture. That was big for Atlanta. That was big for us. That was big for New York. That was a dope moment. So shout out to him and his staff.
Yeah, and shout out to all the media in Atlanta as well. It felt like, you know, they allowed us to go up there, speak our piece, and kind of not de-escalate, I wouldn't say, just because when we got there, we felt so much love, but just hear, you know, our point of view. And yeah, man, reconciliation is important. Productive conversations are important. Progressive conversations are important. I think all those things were had, man. So it was a dope moment. But leading up to it, it was dope just to have connection with the leader of a city and him see how we're looking at things and how he's looking at things.
That was dope. Julian Brown presentation, that was crazy. The leadership panel with John Morgan and Tashonda Brown Duckett and Louis Carr was crazy. And then right after that, Steve Harvey came early just to talk to Louis Carr. If you don't know who Louis Carr is, he's one of the ones. Steve Harvey came early just to talk to him. So that lets you know. All right, Louis Carr and Steve Harvey, they haven't seen each other in years. When Steve Harvey saw that Louis Carr was going to be on the lineup, he had us reach out to Louis Carr like, look, they want to set up a meeting, they want to talk. So they had a meeting set. But after the panel went off, we like, yo, let's go inside the vendor marketplace. So all of us went inside the vendor marketplace together. Louis Carr, who's the president of BT, Steve Harvey, John Morgan, myself, Troy, other people. So we all go in the vendor marketplace and we go to different booths. We go to the Biz Lawyers booth, and everybody, we bring everybody to the Biz Lawyers booth. They talking to her. She's telling the story how she was, and she's an independent lawyer, one of the top law firms in the country when it comes to trademarks, the whole thing. Then we go on the VIP. We go on InvestFest booth. There's a deck. So on the deck, they ain't have their meeting yet. So they just have their meeting right there. They're like, look,
let's do it here.
Just give us a couple minutes. So in the middle of the InvestFest vendor marketplace, the president of BT and Steve Harvey is having a business meeting. That was a legit meeting that they had planned already. They didn't know where they was going to have the meeting. They're like, yeah, we have it. Let's do it here. So they haven't seen each other in years. They talking, real high level conversation, BT, Steve Harvey, like they talking right inside the vendor marketplace. That's great. And while they're talking on the vendor marketplace, John Morgan, who's the richest lawyer in America, by the way, he's right next, because we have an author corner. He's signing his book. He did a book signing. Remember, I said that's one of my goals was to bring the 2 billionaires to not only did we bring him to the vendor marketplace, he actually did a book signing inside the vendor marketplace. Meet and greet, talking to people, taking pictures, talking, the whole thing.
He's incredible, bro.
Crazy vibe.
He's incredible.
Crazy vibe. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, Nick Cannon, their panel was crazy, funny, hilarious. The whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah. I'll say this small piece because I think this. I don't want this to go unnoticed. But it was kind of like what was the lessons that were learned, and I didn't get to see all the panels. Obviously, there's so many going on. A lot of brilliant minds, a lot of brilliant things are being said. But I felt like the overall theme with me was that in the right setting, greatness can be nurtured and flourish because information is the asset. And I was like, that's my theme. Like that's what I walked away with, and I saw it when I went to the EYLU stage and I watched Magda. Shout out to Magda. If you got everybody in EYLU, y'all already know Magda. She's had an incredible weekend. She's just phenomenal. But watching her growth, being on stage, holding a panel with people who were just everyday people about talking about investing. Shout out to Dahuda, shout out to Steph, shout out to Austin. Watching that growth that they've had over the past 2-3 years, watching 5,000 people come to see them speak, I was blown away, right? But in the right setting, talent and greatness can be nurtured. I saw Sway the Pro, who we got the pleasure to finally meet, pack 5,000 people to the wall to come hear us speak. Shout out to Jess. I sat in and Jess, I'm looking at myself, I'm thinking like, look, names are great. Information is more important. Names are beautiful. Information is the asset. And that theme kept happening over and over. I saw Laney and Milano. Like it just, Derek Falcon was up there. Just,
well, that's an angle.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go there because there's more I want to say about him. But just watching people come in to see that information, feel that impact, I was like, look, 6 years ago, would they have had a platform to do it? Right? I keep going back to that thing. You have to be who you're going to be, so somebody else can be what they're going to become. In those right settings, greatness can be nurtured because information is the asset. But keep going. Let's keep going.
We seen, and I ain't gonna take too much time because, like I said, we can have a whole show. We're gonna talk about investing, but the green jacket presentation, that was an amazing experience.
I was gonna end with that.
So yeah, we brought 100 people on stage. That's part of EY University. They got over 1,000% rate of returns and gave them green jackets on stage, and that was a moment that was super dope. Shout out to all the green jacket members. If you do have a green jacket, put some fire in the chat.
Put the green circle in the chat right now.
Pat yourself on the back.
Pat yourself on the back, man. I got you.
And then
I got you.
Man, it was so crazy. Philip Mitchell.
Hold on, time out. Before you go there, shout out to my purple jacket, man.
Shout out to your purple jacket.
Appreciate you, man.
Purple
Thank
tape.
you. The purple tape. Appreciate you.
Philip Mitchell panel, but something happened after that. I'm not at liberty of saying right now, but let's just say that wasn't the only, us and the mayor wasn't the only necessary conversation for the culture that happened. A few necessary conversations happened behind closed doors in the public. It was a few necessary conversations that happened. Just told you, Louis Carr and Steve Harvey, that was a business conversation. Us and the mayor, we had to get right on the political side. It was a few conversations. It was a couple other conversations that happened. InvestFest is a very powerful place that brings so many people together, and sometimes they bring people together that may not be on the same page, but it gives them the opportunity to get on the same page, to see eye to eye, to be in the same room. And then Sunday, man, closed out the show in grand fashion. Pitch competition, Paul Judge went over and above again. He did the same thing he did last year. It was supposed to be 125,000. Over-delivered, 250,000. 125,000 to two different people, two winners of the pitch competition, Master P, Angela Simmons, Lala Anthony. Man, it was an amazing experience. Vendor Marketplace was on fire again. And Saturday, Sunday, the amount of people that was in the building, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Saturday, I actually had to give a warning to go to the overflow room because it was too many people in the main room. So, the internet talks, but the people have spoken. And then
before you go, because you said the marketplace piece, I got to give a shout out to Kendra G. Number one for hosting the pitch competition. She did an amazing job. I actually called her to tell her that today. But while we were in the marketplace, she had singles on the podcast stage, bro. It was 1,000 people you couldn't see the floor. People just galvanized around that. So shout out to everybody that was on that podcast stage. That's the podcast stage is not even a small audience now. Like you talking about, no, I'm saying
it's like 2,000 people.
This is what I'm saying. Like I actually went up to people and shout out to Justin and the LVR team, Tunde. They're looking at like, yo, this is a lot of people. There's just a lot of people here. There's no small stage.
That's a show.
Somebody,
to put it in perspective, that's a theater.
2,000 people.
People can't take that for granted. Yes, bro. It's a lot of people.
Stages.
Here's context.
Stage is bigger than a big stage.
Here's context. We did Market Mondays live at the Apollo. That's 1,100 seats.
Yeah.
The Apollo Theater, 1,100 seats. That 2,000 people are watching up the stage inside of a marketplace. 5,000 at the EYLU stage. Over 12. Y'all get the point.
And then singles lounge was dope. It was the first video that was released was misleading because it only had women in it, and that's not what actually happened. She released a second video that had men in it. It was a great ratio, actually. It was actually a great ratio of men to women. That was packed, crazy. Sunday, Yaki Awaken took the stage. He talked about health, investing in your health. 19 Keys took the stage. He talked about high-level conversation. But the highlight, Serena Williams, an icon living. When she walked, you could just tell her presence was just crazy. It's just some people just got presence. Like the backstage, the cops was asking for selfies. It was just like Michael Jordan walked through. Like that was crazy to have Serena on stage. Like Serena Williams, like she's actually, an icon. If you really think about it, she's an icon living. So just to actually even see her, people never even seen her. People ain't that really. There's some people in life you're never really gonna get an opportunity to see. Like sometimes you ain't really gonna see Michael Jordan too much. Like you know what I mean, like you're probably gonna see some people because they outside, but like Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods,
it's not gonna happen.
Like Eddie Murphy, Oprah, Michelle Obama. I guess a few people that you just probably never going to see.
You're not catching them.
So I think people was just like excited to see her. But to me, the highlight of Sunday was definitely Ian's presentation because that was a lot that went into it. He had the band. And when I saw the time, that's why I told him it's like 50 minutes, 45 minutes, 30 minutes. He had an hour. And it didn't start until the band got off. So it was a true hour. And an hour is a very long time to be on stage by yourself. If you've ever been on stage by yourself, 5 minutes feels like 50. It's extremely difficult to talk on stage with like a fireside chat is one thing. A panel is even easier. To be on stage by yourself with no lifeline, nobody asking you a question, no panel, there's only you and 30,000 people.
Audience. Yeah, you're in the crowd.
That's an extremely difficult feat. And it was substance. It was so much substance. And he brought out the charts and the slides. And he was a showman. And he got the crowd involved. And it was a very engaging. It was funny. He brought jokes. It was masterfully crafted.
Thank you, brother. An amazing intro by you, by the way. Yeah. So I had a great time, bro. I appreciate it.
What do you have to say for yourself?
The other part of energy harvesting people don't tell you about that us entrepreneurs do, and especially psychos like Rashad and I, we'll take every negative piece of commentary and we'll use it as fuel on what to do to kill on stage. I wish I could have been there Saturday. I was prepping. Shout out to the team, everyone who was with me, Red Panda, my family. Love y'all dearly. Saturday night, though, I went through threads and watched comments for 3 hours. And I said, okay, if you got a comment, if you just see me alone, I want to make sure. I hit Burke. Shout out to Jay Burke. I was at 75 slides. I said, make it 150 slides. Okay. Y'all got something to say? Me too. Wait till I get on stage. Shout out to my family. I had 7 of the Red Panda millionaires on stage. The crazy
Shout out
part,
to
it
them.
was like 15 more who couldn't get on. I'm blessed. 7 months of preparation, 2,600 pages of initial prep, 120 slides for one amazing moment. Thank you for the intro. Troy, thank you for your words before. Shout out to my brother 19. Me and 19 got a thing where we always are trying to like outdo each other. And I'm like, bro, go on stage and kill, do better than me and vice versa. But I feel blessed and honored, for real. To be very honest, I was talking to one of my guys, Justin Burns. We grew up together. And he was like, bro, 10 years ago, we couldn't get 1,000 people in Atlanta to talk about investing if we paid them to be there. So to see you kill the stage for 30,000 and they're rocking and hanging on to every word. Shout out to the money side who stood. Shout out to the left side who was being cute. I love y'all too. I'm happy, elated, honored, and we got more planned and more work to do. So,
Amen.
Can you
y'all
give
chat.
for people that may not have been there? Can you just give us like 3 minutes of gems, a recap of the presentation or a segment or a part or whatever? Just it was 60 minutes, so 3 minutes, just 3 minutes of just some high level talk, just to kind of set the tone of some of the stuff that you said.
Yeah, number one, there is no crash. One of the greatest misnomers about the market is that there are all these crashes that happens, and if you're thinking about the daily or weekly time frame, yes. But even this year, when we dipped the market, and Troy, I know you got it with Micron and a few others, and people, I'm like, if something runs up 1,000% and it drops 25%, is that a crash? No. People are too focused on the short term. Number two, how to analyze a stock in 90 seconds without AI. Wall Street Zen is one of my favorite sites. So if you go in and type in, let's say, Nvidia, it'll tell you the ranking of the company by industry, the momentum, PE ratio, price of sales, earnings, everything you need in a scorecard. It's kind of like when a kid gets drafted and they have all the stats and attributes in one sheet. It's a one sheet for investing long term. Thirdly, this is for my entrepreneurs and investors with a lot of money. The sweet spot of what you need to be investing into the market is around $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So a lot of you kept asking me, well, how did these guys turn into millionaires so quickly? It was dedication to not have lifestyle creep. And people will say to me, well, I don't have $4,000. And I'm walking in the lobby and I'm like, you got $7,000 worth of clothes on. You got $1,900 Cartiers and you don't have a $20 million net worth. What are you doing? The Balenci's $900. I know what this shit costs because I get to look at on Saks, right? So I can judge you. So take 3 years to decide that I want to be wealthy and rich more than anything in the world. Because the truth is, once you go buy the car, the jewelry, the etc., in 2 weeks you're going to be tired of it. What you won't be tired of is opening up that account and saying you're up $214,000 on a day. That's a high. Like once you see that, ooh, Shotty, I know you felt it with the Micron call. You up a big amount. Play the long-term game. And then finally, one of my favorite indicators is on TradingView. It's a multi-time frame indicator. So for my traders, do you ever get tired of looking at the month, the week, the day, the 8 hour, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minute, the 15? That indicator has all of the time frames lined up on the right side of the chart. So if I pull up Nvidia or Microsoft or the S&P 500 and I want to go long, I don't have to flip through all of the charts. I can look at the right. If everything is green, I wait for my level on the EMAs to buy. If it's all red, I look to short. And if there's a mixing of the color, so if like the 4 hour is green, the 1 hour is green, but the 15, 30, and 10 minute are the opposite color, I don't trade it. So you have alignment in all of your time frames and make sure win rate higher. And most importantly, the most important risk to reward. The most important indicator is risk to reward. Like some people are trading 1,000 or 10,000 to make 10,000. You really need to focus on scenarios where if you win 2 or 3% of the time or 9% of the time, you can still make a lot of money. So for me, I like to risk 1 to make 11. So if I put in $10,000 into the market, I want to make 110. Or if I put up 100, I want to make 1.1. Too many people are gambling. And also we talk about knowing where to get out. Most people are just gambling and say, well, I want to get this call. And I'm like, what's your exit price? It's up 300%. I don't know. I'm like, you should know the dollar amount to a T and what you want to exit. And if I made you money, please put yes in chat. There's been a lot of chatter, but one of the greatest feelings is not only to make money for you, but to be able to make money for others and then not have anything attached to the back end. That's another thing I got to give you credit for. There was a lot of infomercials on stage. No backing coming from whatever sales came. So for me to be able to liberate, I'm like, damn, you got a 20-minute pitch? I'm like, I don't even pitch on stage. But to liberate others and turn others into millionaires is one of the greatest feelings I've had in my professional career. And like I said, there's more work to do. So
How many people
that's
how many people was part of the Red Panda Millionaires?
about 80 of them right now.
Kudos. That's amazing. And the thing about it is, man, somebody said I used the ChatGPT prompt that you put and it worked like a charm. If you was at that presentation, if you ain't get $10,000 worth of gains, that's on you, man. That's on you, man. You know, you can say what you want. And the crazy thing is, most time people that have any negative commentary, these are the people that you help. These are people that got it for free, probably. Because once again, if you don't pay for something, you don't value it. You don't pay for something, you don't value it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why no good deed goes unpunished. You can't help people at a certain point. It's not worth it. It's a diminishing rate of return on charity. Unfortunately. But you said something that was
scholarships.
That's a fact. It's not worth it. These are gonna be the same people that slander you. Look, Nipsey. The people that you help the most, they'll slander you the quickest. You give somebody a free ticket, they the one that's gonna go on Threads and talk about, oh, this is terrible. You didn't even pay to be here. But you didn't value it. That's why, because you didn't even go to Ian presentation. You don't value what you don't pay for. It doesn't mean anything to you. It doesn't, like, just think about it from a psychological standpoint. Somebody gives you a t-shirt, it doesn't mean anything to you. You could throw it away. If you pay for that t-shirt, you're gonna wash it, you're gonna put the stain remover on it, you're gonna sew it if it has a hole in it, because it's actually you have an emotional attachment to something. If you don't pay for it, you don't care about it. It means nothing to you. But you said something that's vital with the 3 years, because we learned that last year from Magic, as far as you have 3 years. We've been saying this all year, and the year's not over yet. So we're going to keep saying it until the year's over. Then you'll have 2 years. But until this year is over, we're going to keep saying you got 3 years to get your act together. And
countdown ticket next.
The countdown ticket every single. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should have the countdown ticket every week, like the national
Like
debt.
they did for the World Cup.
Like the national debt. That's a fact. But Len, kudos to you, man. You solidified yourself time and time again. But I feel like yesterday, you solidified your spot as far as, one of our great leaders and somebody that's just a really master at his craft. The way you went into the technicals and then the emotions of investing and then like, looking at the AI aspect of it and how to prompt, and it was crazy. Like I said, an hour is crazy. So I actually that's one of the best presentations I've ever seen in life when it comes to somebody getting up there and actually just going for an hour. And we've done something in the past, and this is part of InvestFest too. This is the annual InvestFest. Ian Dunlap, the Red Panda Rebellion, the stock club. That's where he actually lets all of the trades out as far as the when to buy stocks. That's the most important point. Like the price to buy, the low the boat price, the price to stay away from it. But it also gives you the access to the sniper program, the full presentation of the InvestFest, what happened yesterday, everything that wasn't covered on stage, 10 stocks to invest in, 3 prices to buy stocks, and there's monthly calls. One swing trade entry for the swing traders, crystal ball guidance. So it's like the hands held community. But when these Red Panda millionaires, that's why I asked you that question. I'm assuming that's how they got rich, is they invested at the right time. You got to invest. You got to invest money. Like, you're not selling a dream. That's why you said you got to put thousands of dollars in. But it's like, if you invest at the right time, there's a big difference from buying Microsoft 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 week. Depending on when you got in is where you're at. There's a big difference in Micron. you could be down on Micron. If you got in Micron 3 weeks ago, you're probably down, right? Like you
2
see,
years ago, though?
you could be 1,000, 2,500, 3,000%.
Perhaps.
So, okay, this is that time of year again. Christmas happens in August. 25 slots. Ian has opened up 25 slots for 3 years of access to Red Panda. And the 3-year access price is the same price that Red Panda usually is for 1 year. So the price that Red Panda traditionally is for 1 year has been opened for 3 years, and it's for a cohort. A cohort. If you don't know what cohort is, look it up. That's the word of the day. It's for a cohort.
The word of the day.
That's a class. It's a cohort. It's a cohort because it's hands-on education and learning. A cohort. The InvestFest 2026 Red Panda cohort. 25 people and only 25 people. First come, first serve. Go to ianinvest.com. Go to ianinvest.com if you want to take advantage. That gives you 3-year access. Why 3 years? Because you have 3 years.
3 years
Fitting.
left. Yep.
Fitting. ianinvest.com. First 25 people get access to Red Panda for 3 years. Red Panda Millionaires is a real thing. Who will be next?
Okay. Shout out to the Bulls. I saw my man Champ up on stage, man. Shout out to Champ. He was yeah. I got to speak to him briefly after he came up stage. I was like, man, Champ, you did a doubleheader, man. He part of the rebellion and he got his green jacket, man. He had a hell of a weekend. Shout out to Edwin up there too, man.
Shout out to the brother Edwin. That's my litmus test.
Yeah.
Edwin is my litmus test. I know if something is, when I saw Edwin say this was the best InvestFest ever, I knew it was the best InvestFest ever.
He can say that.
If Edwin says it,
he's been all of them.
And he's been at all of them, and he goes to every panel. He's in the marketplace. He goes to food trucks. He's a trusted opinion. He's one of the few opinions that I actually, if Edwin says it's the best InvestFest ever.
No, we gotta go with that. That's a guy that has been dedicated to this financial education movement. And he, like you said, he's been at every event.
And he's in the clubs.
Not just, he's obviously InvestFest, but he doesn't miss anything. And he's in Red Pit. Like, come on. That's that guy.
And he's in the clubs.
He is a valid source.
By the way.
I did see him in
You're going to see him in the club.
And perhaps.
Shout out.
He's going to move around.
Perhaps.
Okay. And Mike put the QR code for people that want to scan the QR code. ianinvest.com. All right, Ian.
And I want to just hello to my brother Tyson and my Toronto fam, because I put him on the spot last minute. Like, yo, you going to speak on stage?
Yeah. Shout out to the 6 side.
Shout out to my guy for coming through. Shout out to the 6. Shout out to him. And Tweet was like, yo, you killed it. Like, because Tweet seen everything too. He like, bro, best
shout
year,
out to my dog.
Performance. But shout out to Tyson for taking that leap from 3 years ago at InvestFest and say he was already successful in real estate, and to then begin to liquidate out of real estate and then say, I'm going to go all in on stocks. And bro, I'm trusting you. That means like we're friends. So for him to come through and then be on stage 3 years later, now he's at 1.3, he should be at 2 next summer, 2.1 next summer.
Yeah.
Be dedicated. That's my only lesson. Go all in, be dedicated, listen, and you'll be on stage next year too.
Yeah, I think that's the most fulfilling part, is that this isn't the person that went to business school that was on Wall Street. This is like the person who decided, hey, I'm going into real estate. Or this is the person that's the nurse, right? Or like I said, this is the person that's the substitute teacher. This is the everyday person that is getting a skill that is changing their financial trajectory. So shout out to everybody that's on there. Make sure y'all hit that code and enjoy the rebellion, man. Shout out to the rebellion. I love the tagline. I love the tagline.
Red Panda Rebellion.
We might got to bring the mask back, Ian.
Long overdue. long overdue. Mm-hmm. All black like the omen.
That's a fact. But that's a real thing though. Like I said, you don't value what you don't pay for. And like I said, I read everything. And like I said, some of the negative comments I see on it, and they were like, yeah, I got a free ticket. And I'm like, damn, like you try to help people. And it's like economic times is bad. You giving somebody a free ticket. And if you don't like it, okay, you don't have to like it. But you're going to publicly go out of your way and publicly bash something We just tried to help you. And like I said, I know for a fact you didn't go to Ian presentation. You wasn't at Yaki Awakens presentation. You wasn't there when Mike Novogratz spoke. You didn't see John Morgan. You didn't see
She didn't.
Julian Brown. You didn't see Ohio University.
Yeah.
Alicia Little, Sinead Bovell, and Brett. Yo, that panel. I had to explain to people prior to what they were about to witness. You're talking about brilliant minds. Like when we go to these, when we went to NVIDIA and had conversations and built a relationship with Brandon, having conversation with him, him sharing with the public, it almost, when he saw us, he said, wow, this is going somewhere because you guys are educated with, I want to help in that mission. So you can't miss it. I think the most important thing now is, right, the people who did that, great. But the people who actually came, what do you do next, right? Like, so now what's the follow-up and what's the follow-through? Like that piece is equally as important.
It's vitally important.
You're going to try to get the results that you want.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. All that free ticket shit is over with. If we gave away 500 people tickets, it's going to be 500 less people there next year. We give tickets to kids, but if you're an adult, nope, sorry. All that free ticket shit is over with. We ain't discounting tickets. We're not giving away free tickets. We're not doing none of that because they ruined it. So kids, we always gonna give tickets to kids.
You know what? Let's bundle them in Red Panda and figure that out. I'll cover it. We need the loyalists. We have 3 years to make a large quantity of money for our community. And I said this on stage yesterday. I mean to cut you off for shop. It's my passion talking. If you are a Black entrepreneur or a Latin entrepreneur and you're well-to-do, when this shift comes economically, you're going to have to take care of 5 people. People are messed up out here. I know a lot of people are acting like everything is fine. The conversations that we're having, it is literally the haves and have-nots. So even with the event, you need all supporters. If they don't want to support, burn the boats, let them die. You deserve to be broke.
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
Somebody shout out to the chat. They said the African panel was incredible. Shout out to Alvin. Shout out to Dora. Shout out to my brother Eugene. Flew in, literally left the stage and said, "I gotta go fly back to Kenya." Shout out to Eugene.
Oh, that's the last thing I'll say.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just say this other part because I want to make sure that I recognize my brother Derek Falcon. This is somebody that we've built a relationship with over for the past 7 years. Been trying to get him to come to Investors for 7 years. The only reason when he walked in, he had some challenges this weekend during his pop-up, but showed accountability, showed leadership. It said, because I love y'all, I want to give to the people. And I sat there for 45 minutes and listened to him and Jim go back and forth. And obviously we know Jim. I watched Jim's eyes get enlightened by what Derek was saying. And I was just so happy to see him share his talent at the masses, right? Like people see him on the 7 streams and the content is incredible. But seeing him and witnessing him live is a totally different thing. I want to give him credit and a lot of acknowledgement of that because he's not the guy that wants to be in front of the camera, but he did that for us, man. So I appreciate you, Majid.
Yeah, shout out to him, shout out to Jim, shout out to the whole team unit. But the last thing I'll say is fulfill the expectation of bringing 2 billionaires to the vendor marketplace. We talked about John Morgan. John Morgan not only walked the vendor marketplace, talked to vendors, did a book signing. Mike Novogratz the next day. Not only Mike Novogratz, his whole team. Dan, shout out to Dan, but y'all don't even know who Dan is. Don't even worry about it.
Dave.
Mel.
Yeah, just spoke to Mel.
So bring him to the vendor marketplace, and I'm walking. They like, I want to walk. It's like 11. It's still early before their panel, and Mike Novogratz, and not only walks the vendor marketplace, he stops at least 10 different vendors. It's on Instagram. You can see it. He goes to Salt XO's booth. He goes to another guy's booth. He starts talking to people. And the crazy thing about it is I got stopped from them because people wouldn't let me walk. They just kept taking pictures with me. Yo, nobody knew who he was. Nobody stopped him at all. It was,
we've seen this before.
I couldn't walk with them anymore because I got stopped. And I'm trying to tell them, like, it's humbling. I appreciate it. But y'all should also, y'all don't even know who this person is. He's worth $6 billion.
More than that.
He's going to the booths and he's talking and he's engaging. He's asking people questions about their business and all of that. And it's like, man, how many opportunities do you get to talk to somebody that's worth $6 billion? And the crazy thing is, like,
it's 14. I don't want you to short him.
My cousin my cousin, shout out to Punchy. We had him. He was like manning John Morgan, and he came back. He's like, "Yo, AB put me on John Morgan." I'm like, "John Morgan Security." Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Yo, that's have you ever met a billionaire before in person?" He's like, "I'm like, that's the first billionaire that you ever met." He's like, "Damn, since you say it like that, I guess, yeah, I guess so." I'm like, "Yeah, you just was with a billionaire for 25 minutes. That was an opportunity." You know what I'm saying? It's like
That'd be the thing, bro. Yeah, that'd be the thing. Like, and that's why you never know who the person is that you're going to be speaking to, who you're going to be in front of, what they're looking for. They might be seeing something in you that they can, hey, I need to add that type of person into my own business. So you treat everybody the same way. Like you treat everybody with that same high level of integrity because you don't know, right? Like, you seen that show, like the Undercover Boss. Like this is like the Undercover Billionaire. I literally watched that happen with Dan Cathy. You're now seeing it with Mike Novogratz. We should be becoming familiar with these people, right? Because you don't know where opportunity lives. It could have lived right in front of somebody this weekend and they didn't realize.
Or just ask them a question. Just ask them a question. You don't got to fan out.
Nah.
But ask them a question. You know, talk
to change your life.
The thing is, these people is good people. They're engaging. They want to talk to you. They coming to the vendor marketplace for a reason. They're not coming to the vendor marketplace for no reason. They don't got no security. They just coming. They talking. They engaging. They want to talk to you. They want to find out what you got going on. You never know. The crazy thing is, the last thing I say is backstage. When I was talking to Mike Novogratz, and he was asking me about the conference and the scale, different things of nature. He was like, "Yo, you charge a lot of money. I heard you charge a lot of money for this conference." And I'm like, "A lot of money is relative. What you mean?" He's like, "How much you charge?" I'm like, "The GA is $250." He was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, $250. He was like, he was like,
He was flabbergasted.
The whole thing? He like the whole thing? He's like, "Oh, now I feel better about coming." He's like, "Why'd they tell me it was a lot of money?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. People have a misconception of what a lot of money is." And he was like, "Well, why? He's like, why are you doing that? Like, why you charge $250? Like, that doesn't even really make financial sense." That's what he told me. He was like, "That doesn't even, it's a bad business model.
Minimum should be $1,500.
He's like, he's like, why? It's stupid. Like, it's a bad business model." That's what he said to me.
Told you. I keep saying, y'all lucky y'all run InvestFest. General admission $4,000.
Told you.
But you know what? Here's a good transition. For those who were able to network all weekend, can each of us give 2 or 3 tips for what they should do in terms of follow-up? Because the networking part is great. I know we all been on the phone today with a bunch of people, but what are some 2 key tips over this next week everyone should get done in order to take full advantage of the event that they was just at?
Segment the people that you met.
Yes.
Like, everybody is not, like, if you really met somebody that you got to follow up with, that might be different than somebody that you just casually, like, so segment priority. This is top level priority. Give it 2 days, follow up, set it. I'm a 3 strikes you out type guy. 2 days, then 3 days, then 3 days. So follow up, email, do whatever you got to do. But the most important thing I think people lose in the pipeline is actually remembering it, because you get so many business cards, whatever, you got to segment it. And that's why CRMs are important. But segment it as soon as possible. And the last thing I'll say about a connection. So Mel Carter, if you don't know who Mel Carter is, you should look him up. He's the owner of Bojangles. You know, Bojangles is like one of the largest.
He has a few, not the only, he has a franchisor.
Oh, 125 franchises.
Yeah.
He has 125 Bojangles franchises. But he just struck a deal with a big box provider. And he was looking for, he has to put black businesses in, like, let's say one of these big companies. So the water guy at InvestFest, the guy that like was the head of, like, he had like his own water, and I guess he sponsored InvestFest for the water, and he had like it was like a Celsius water. He gave us the sample, and he gave it to Mike, and he started talking. And Mike was like, "Yo, I need you. I was looking for, I need a liquid guy to put inside of this big box retailer." He's like, "Yo, Rashad, connect us. I actually need to put you inside of. It has to happen." And that was in 3 minutes. That was in 3 minutes.
Done.
The value of being there in person. Like, being there in person, you can ClickFunnels, Facebook ad, Meta ad your way to some success, but you have to be there in person. You have to.
Yeah. I think the other part is obviously segmenting. That was the first thing I was going to say. And I started doing this early. Like, if it's important, I'll tell the person, look, let's take a picture and add the picture to the email. Because I'll know, like, oh, I remember this person. We had this conversation outside of them putting a dry email, because we might not remember who that was. I might have met 4 Melissas yesterday, but, oh, she took a picture. Oh, okay, I remember this one. And she was talking about this. Segment it, but then figure out how you're going to schedule those appointments, right? After you've done that, like Charlie said, he has his 3-day, and then we're out. Figure out what the value add you're going to have before you have that appointment. Like, what is the real value add? Now that we've met, now that we've had a conversation, now that you got us on the phone, how are you helping? How are you helping? Not just what can I do to help you. How are you helping? How can you add value? How can you help scale, right? Genuine relationships are way more important. The things that you're seeing happen on stage, those come from genuine relationships that we've built and fostered.
Yeah.
Some of these people we've known for over 15 years. Some people we've known for 5 years. Some people we met this year, right? They just were, watching and respected what we were doing and couldn't wait and were willing to work with us. Those are genuine relationships. Those are the ones that are going to last. Make sure you do that. Follow up and follow through.
Shout out to everybody that came to InvestFest.
Yeah.
Unbelievable press run. Unbelievable press run. The press run is over. I think this solidified the spot that we currently hold in pop culture, because it's become a thing. InvestFest has become a thing. And that's kind of crazy if you really think about it. It's really kind of mind-blowing, actually. In 6 years, it just started as a
secret or how to have a great press run and dominate social media for a 2-week period. Was that
controlling narrative? But look, the mayor thing, we didn't plan for that to happen.
That was not planned.
But
in fact,
never miss an opportunity.
Yeah,
it was an opportunity.
It was not planned. I'll be honest, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. When we got back in the car, Shai looked at me and said, "I didn't know we were going that direction," and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't either." It just happened.
Yeah, usually I would be the one to kind of start that. I didn't start that. Troy did. But like I said,
but you like double down. Like, we can talk about it now because it worked out. But like, you went triple levered.
Well, once the door is open,
right? That's perfect. He triple leveraged the situation.
You went triple levered.
It was so crazy. They were like, "Yo," I got calls like, "Yo, you can't do that. You know he can do that, but you can't do that because if you do that, then he's gonna triple leverage it." And I was like, "All right, I understand."
We didn't know that was gonna happen. It did happen, and that was the craziest. We've been in some controversy. This political game is different. The political game is different. Like, this was the craziest thing that I've been involved in so far. But what it did was raise awareness. You know how many people never even heard of InvestFest before? Like, what is this thing? I never heard of it before. Like, people that live in Atlanta that had never heard of it, had never been, they had heard of it for the first time. They heard of it for the first time. And man, it all worked out.
How do you take a negative and turn it to a positive? Yeah. It's a great business lesson. I know y'all want market gems, but these business gems are really important. Yeah. Sam is not able to do this, to be honest, from OpenAI. How do you take that negative moment and turn it into a positive and then monetize it?
Yeah, and it was a different approach.
I had this plan. I'm like, it was not planned. I promise you.
None of it was planned. In fact, even the post interviews that came after it, right? Whether it was Bank or it was decisions.
That came before. Bank was before.
I'm saying we taped all those before we ever went to the Breakfast Club. In fact, we had a kind of nice, flow of what we would do when we would come to Atlanta. We would do this show. We do this station. We kind of wanted to do something a little different this time. And all of those things kind of aligned. Ray Daniels episode, all those just dropped at the same time. And it felt like, oh, wow, this is going everywhere. And so it kind of aligned. And I mean, was it beneficial? Yes, because of the awareness. But again, productive conversations of how to grow going forward also happen. So that's a bonus.
One thing is something that you can appreciate, Ian, is that people love entertainment. No matter what they say,
that's love a conversation we have offline. They do.
People love entertainment, man. Whether you Ric Flair, whether you Deion Sanders, whether you Prince, the most successful
Kanye.
people, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, you got to entertain the people.
Yep.
And no matter how you felt about this press run, it was entertaining for sure.
It was good. It was like a Hard Knocks almost. Like this is like business Hard Knocks. You got your rise in action. You got the enemy conclusion. At masterful.
It was entertaining.
Stressful, but masterful.
Super stressful, but entertaining. So
shout out to 6,000 in the chat. Shout out to y'all.
Thank you to everybody that came. Man, is amazing. Like I said, to take a topic that traditionally is the most boring topic in the world, something that Black people would never be interested in, and to make it something so entertaining, and to make it look good. Like that black tie gala, that looked good. Like that's an underrated achievement. It's one thing to make things palatable. It's another thing to make things palatable and put the spice on it.
Yeah, we heard
We
that.
put the spice on it.
We've heard that a few times.
Put the spice and the fashion.
Yeah.
And the fashion, by the way.
Y'all making being intelligent look sexy.
And the fashion, by the way.
Yeah, it's cool to be smart again.
We talk about that on Blackout, but shout out to my brother Sean, man. You know,
Yes.
I did the suit every day. Every day.
Hello.
Every day.
Yeah, shout out to Sean. Another person that deserves his flowers, man. Shout out to Sean, Able One. Let's get into some topics. Let's do a lightning round, man.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Come on.
Let's talk about Nvidia.
Let's do it. This is
500 billion AI investment.
I'm gonna be very honest. I already picked a good lesson in when you have battles too. You can't have too many. So I picked my battle with Tim Cook and Apple. Regardless of what I may think about the circular investment, I'll never say nothing bad about Nvidia. So I'm an Nvidia vendor. I do think it's very interesting to have this partnership between Apollo, Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, all amazing companies on the publicly traded markets, all good investments long term. I do want to see how this develops. I was interested on your thoughts on what you think of it. Is it a good sign that the industry is going in the right direction, or is there like a continuation of the circular investment that is now getting broader since all the banks are involved?
Yeah, I think on the bear case, I think you have to look at it, right? That circular investment piece. I think the bull case, I think it's encouraging. When we talk about CapEx, we're usually talking about cash flow from companies. And that CapEx is funded, and we keep talking about this $1 trillion that's going to be spent this year, and that's coming predominantly from these 4 hyperscalers. But when you start hearing institutional firms, right? Apollo, like you said, Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, and a few others, that means that institutions are now putting money in here, and it won't solely be hyperscalers. It'll be in addition with. So $500 billion is nothing to sneeze at. The fact that Nvidia has their hand in this as well, what else can we say about this company, right? Like
they're the most powerful company on earth.
It's almost, I don't know what other approaches we can give to it. They're being in this because obviously when institutional investors are going to look, the first thing that they're going to need is compute. And so you keep hearing this talk, compute will be a tradable asset in the future.
Yeah, it's asset class. Yep.
It's own asset class, and every step that gets taken, you can slowly see that is becoming more and more likely, right? Now, the question is that $500 billion investment, can they get $1 trillion return?
But then, once again, that's a 1 to 2 ratio, and that's scary because I personally like a 5x return. I don't think we're going to get a $2.5 trillion return out of that. But I never have anything bad to say about Nvidia. And for those of you going to ask, a price that I do like for Nvidia is $190.19. If it falls to the area, that's a place I would like to buy. But when I'm looking at return tables, it's going to be hard to get a 5 or a 7x out of a $500 billion investment. Not that may be their goal, but if I don't see a pathway to getting there, that is kind of scary.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's encouraging, right? So we got, you said Apollo, Blackstone, BlackRock, Brookfield, Goldman Sachs, and KKR. We knew that the conviction was there because we knew that the hyperscalers, the smartest people in the world, the smartest CFOs, and some of the smartest engineers in the world of tech are behind that investment. Now to have the biggest institutions in the world also be in that same investment, for me, that's a bullish sign. Do you feel the same way, or is there still like a bear case?
No. Absolutely, because even at that level, and I talked about it on stage, like the put call ratio of a stock matters, how much they're invested in, what percentage into a fund. But when you see, this is kind of like a post IPO to a certain degree, like when we went on Wall Street, you see all the banks collaborating. When the big boys get together and they're putting in 50 billion at a time for a project, they're going to ensure that it works. This is almost like a digital infrastructure bill, a different version of Build Back Better. And so long term, I do think there is a long term case, and it's also showing that it's the last big frontier of something you can invest in at scale that I'm looking for a return into 5 or 10 years out. So yeah, it's definitely a bullish case for the amount of money placed into it.
That's a great
These
point.
are not the bottom of the tier ranks. They're all putting money in together and no hedging on it. Like they're not investing in this and shorting AMD. They're positive on the stock and then positive on the development of it. So that's a great sign.
You bring up a great point. How many times will we see this level of investment from this many big players for the same technology? That tells you the importance of it. They're not just saying, hey, we're doing this for charity. They're doing this because it's not just 1 trillion they're looking for. They're looking for, how do we get to 5? How do we get to 10? Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about how long can tech lead?
I think, you want to start?
No, go ahead.
I know a lot of industries have a shelf life. If you look at railroads, if you look at oil and gas, and you can argue to a certain degree, energy and oil and gas still runs the world through the partnership through tech. I think it's a great question, but it's also misaligned if you are a great long-term investor. Tech is going to run our lives for the next 100 years, and if the oligarchs have anything to do with it, we will be in a permanent tech prison. There's been some conversations on if tech is going to stop being the number one consideration in an investment portfolio. And the truth is, our greatest export to the world in America for the publicly traded markets is our technology. You can make the argument, is it good or bad? Is it destroying connection and families and all that? That's another conversation. But in a worst case scenario, tech probably has like another 60 years to run. And then once we get out to the 2090s, do we think tech will be less or more? So sometimes we can overcomplicate investing too much, and then we're trying to time. Once again, that's a big short mindset. When is this industry going to fall apart? My short answer is never. Tech is being included in healthcare, is being included in the oil and gas, is being included in industrials, is being included in education, is being introduced into farming. You can argue technology ruined farming. Tech isn't going anywhere.
Tech actually revolutionized farming, though, too. Think about it.
Good.
I think depends on what side of the coin you're on. If you're a farmer, not so much. Now, scale, Rashad, I agree with you. But if you're a farmer, maybe not so much. But if you're a technologist, that could make it more efficient, for sure.
But like irrigation, that's
my
technology.
brother. We always gonna
Yeah, but irrigation is technology, right?
Yeah.
The cotton gin, that's technology.
Well, we're not gonna talk about that particular piece of tech because that was,
Well, the cotton gin is what ended slavery. That's the thing. So this is an interesting way to look at it, right? Slavery was ended by technology, not by political. It wasn't. We talked about Abraham Lincoln before. It wasn't political. It wasn't moral. Slavery, the institution of slavery, was ended by technology. Once it became inefficient to have human labor and more efficient to have machine labor, which is a form of technology at that time, cutting edge technology. that within itself kind of crippled the idea that we need people to pick cotton.
Yeah, it went from overt slavery through farming and those practices, and then it went covert into banking and then venture, which that money flows into technology. So I agree, overtly it did. Covertly, the racism shifted to a certain degree. Like, and then you can argue then from there, the prison industrial complex developed off of the back of that technology, so it wasn't as overt. So we should call it 19 Keys.
I think the last segment kind of answers the question for this segment. I don't see a lifetime for us where it doesn't lead. I don't care what sector you're in. It is going to be the forefront of that sector, whether it's education, whether it's industrials, whether it's healthcare. It will be the thing that disrupts it and changes it. Now, better for worse, that could be up for debate. But it is the thing that makes life, again, the two things that we need, most people want, is efficiency and convenience, right? Technology allows for both. And so pick a sector, tech will lead it. I don't care what the company is. And so it will have the lead for the foreseeable future, which tells you why they're investing $500 billion to turn this into a tradable asset when we're talking about compute, which is why 5 companies are spending $1 trillion because they're expecting return on it, which is why they're talking about having robotics, which is why they're talking about having space. Like, all these things tell you that technology is going to lead the foreseeable future, and who knows how many lifetimes.
And also, that was one of the things I listened to Mike Novogratz when he was on InvestFest stage, and he was talking about data centers. So his company just brought the naming rights to Texas Tech Stadium, and he's has operations in Texas now. So he's invested in data centers, and he was saying the cost of a data center, these costs of these data centers is crazy. I think he's like, his company personally put like $5 billion, they financed $25 billion, $30 billion all in for like one data center. One. And he was talking about that on stage as far as like how much money is being poured into these data centers. So the tech spending, going back to the $500 billion investment, I mean, it's going to be, it's unfathomable how much money is going to be spent on technology in the next. Alicia Little had robots doing karate in the vendor marketplace.
Amazing.
I watched them do jujitsu. I watched them dance with the brat. I watched them hold court in the lobby, the hallways. People were just like, they were blown away by it. Technology again. Again.
And Rashad, we were making the same point. Even from a cap table and investment deployment scenario, it's not in many industries they will even let you allot that amount of money. Like, think for us, we're fighting to get into rounds, and they're lessening the amount that we can get in because it's oversubscribed. You can't go to a B2B real estate forum and deploy $100 million easily. Like, there's not, if you're raising funds, there's only a certain amount of avenues that you can even deploy that much capital at scale, and that's through tech. You can't do it internationally in other venues and in other sectors. So for that reason alone, tech is going to continue to thrive because everybody's trying to oversubscribe to the seed round, the Series A, Series B, Series D. And then even on the IPO side, that's why everyone was so interested in SpaceX, is because of the potential return of tech. They're not looking to do that in marijuana stocks. So I agree. We're making the same point, 1,000%. And no, Kanisa, it's not too late to join Red Panda. Go to ianinvest.com. You can join if you want to become financially free. Back to you, Troy Rashad.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. 25 spots have been opened up for 3-year access to Red Panda, the 2026 InvestFest cohort of Red Panda enrollees. Hopefully some of you guys will be the next Red Panda millionaires. 25 spots, first come, first serve. How long can tech lead? We just talked about that. Let's talk about SPY and VOO. What's the core strategy behind having SPY and VOO as the foundation?
Yeah, I think these things are all aligned.
Yeah.
I'll be brief, Ian. I think they're all aligned. Yeah, the last three like segments are all aligned to to this one, right? If we're talking about that spend in technology, great. If we're trying to figure out how long technology leads, okay. If we're unsure about that, well then we invest in SPY and VOO. Why? Because if technology leads, you own it. If it changes to another sector, the index changes. You own it. And so if you want to cover all bases, then own all the bases, right? That could be a strategy that you don't ever have to change because it will change for you based on what is leading. If it's healthcare, if it's financials, if it's industrials, if those things lead, the index will fluctuate and change so that you have higher exposure. It is a game set match. Own all the bases.
I get this a lot, and people are starting to ask me, like, why do you have VOO and VTI in the same portfolio when they cover the same thing? And number one, please write this down. Elimination of has to be your first consideration when you're investing to personal and business relationships.
Ian, you cut it. Ian, you cut out a little bit when you said that. You said elimination of what?
Of drawdown. Like eliminating how much money you can lose in the market. Yeah, that's the most important. So if you look at VOO, 2011 it was negative 0.2%. 2015 was 0.78%, less than 1%. 6% in 2018, and it was down 19% in 2022. The rest of the years were positive. So when you're looking at an investment, the first thing you have to consider is how far would this thing fall? Same in a personal business relationship. You can have 10x upside with a person, but if I'm going to go to the depths of hell in our relationship, you're like, I don't even want to take the risk. So, and then once you pair with technology, that's when you have the upside. But if you go all tech and all of tech is bleeding, Qs are bleeding, Nvidia bleeds, AMD bleeds, Micron bleeds because you got in late. Now you're looking at a potential for 30% drawdown. So I'm never going to deviate from it, even though some of you say, and also too, once you have more money, you don't want to draw down 15% being in the more aggressive ETF. So the SPY VOO combination, the reason why it's the first consideration is to eliminate the drawdown. Some of you are gambling too much with your long-term portfolio because you won't make the right decisions in the beginning. So you messed up 4 or 5 years, and now you need 50% returns a year because you haven't been performing at the level you should.
That's a fact. I agree. And then somebody said it's Red Panda for beginners. I would say so because especially like the stock as he's telling you just what prices to buy stocks at, along with other things. But like that's one of the core features is actually getting the prices. So actually beginners is definitely because if you're a beginner, you probably don't know how to technically read charts and go through all of the things and have the time. So I would say it's probably as helpful for beginners is more than everybody.
I turn a bunch of beginners into millionaires because they listen. I know some people like to do that even from a market share thing. Well, it's too high level, so it's not for beginners. No. If you want to know what to invest in, where to get in, where to get out, where to have financial freedom, because I created financial freedom for myself and I'm just giving you my blueprint, join Red Panda. I'll see you at the Millionaires Dinner next year. If you listen to your brother, trading and investing has considerable risk. Please consult your advisor, yada, yada. But if you're a beginner, the beginners do better, especially if they listen. Because the people who know too much information, they want to deviate from the strategy that didn't work for them.
Vitally important.
You guys see it all the time in media. A person will start a podcast and listen, opposed to, let's say, if they came from TV and did podcasting, they may not be as open to listening to putting out content every week, never missing a show. Most people would have missed today. Nope.
Can't.
Here we are.
Can never miss. Can never miss. Micron versus DRAM versus SanDisk.
I gotta ask y'all.
Are you trying to trigger me?
For sure. Now let's do the stock versus, right? Shout out to Tim and Swizz. Let's take Micron versus DRAM first. If you had to pick one, which one would it be and why?
So this is interesting because DRAM has Micron as an allocation inside of its ETF. It is fairly new, and if I'm going from if I'm starting today, and my strategy has always been build your base with strong ETFs and indexes. So I would have DRAM there. Micron, I would.
Rashad, what about you?
Okay.
Well, finish.
No, I was just saying, Micron as an individual
Yeah,
stock. Y'all know this has been a company for 3 years when nobody believed in us. So when it wasn't a part of an ETF, it was part of the portfolio, and so it's performed well. I still like it as an individual, but if I'm telling people, hey, where should you start? I'm telling them to start with the ETF, and then you can build on top of the table with individual equities.
I would say
Rashad, what about you?
it really just depends. So yeah, the most responsible thing is always to go to the ETF, and Micron I think is number 1 or number 2 inside of the DRAM. So that would be the safest play. But then also there's a thing of diversification for people that don't know what they're doing, and it's better to be hyper focused. And if you're going to go with a leader, like Ian says, go with the top 2 in the sec. So if you go to top 2, then Micron would definitely fit in that category.
Top 2 in DRAM, you saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's number 3, but they're like percentages off. But yeah.
Okay. So from a percentage gain standpoint, okay, DRAM is the safer. From a percentage gain standpoint, if it all works out, Micron is going to do better. But that's always true with individual stocks.
Yeah.
So you may want to do both. So the answer to your question is, if you believe in the sector,
no, you gotta pick one.
If you believe in the sector,
no,
you
picking
believe in
one.
the company,
You
then do
picking one.
both.
No, you pick one. Pick which one are you picking?
Uno, por favor.
You gotta have one. You gotta have one. Which is the one?
Me. You going Micron?
Risk on. He's not doing my. If it's one, he's choosing the ETF. 100%. He's choosing the ETF.
Okay.
But
so both of
the thing is this.
Okay. Compare that versus SanDisk.
Okay. Now this is a more interesting conversation. Both of these have performed outrageously well. Again, before there was, and this is not even a large allocation in DRAM, and that's because it's not a DRAM product, right? It's a NAND product. Now, in terms of technology, artificial intelligence is going to be led by high bandwidth memory because there's a shortage of high bandwidth memory, right? And people need to know the difference between memory and storage. People have used storage to supplement some of that, which is why you see prices increasing for Western Digital, which is solid state drives, NAND memory from SanDisk. If I'm looking out into the future and I have to choose between the two, I'm going to take Micron. Number one, it's the American leader in high bandwidth memory. It has strategic partnerships that they've already announced, and that is going to be the thing that powers agentic AI. Micron. Love SanDisk.
Okay. Rashad?
SanDisk has a way lower market cap, which would fare well for their upside potential if you look at that as an indicator. If that means anything to you. So that would be in SanDisk's favor. Well, yeah, I agree with Troy. You got to go with the American company. Trump likes them. They're tied in, at least for the next couple of years. That's helpful. And memory is something that's, for all intents and purposes, it's just getting started in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. But I just wonder how much these valuations can really go. Like these two, and that was the whole thing with SpaceX. And that was a big talk about crypto. The valuations was always a conversation of market cap. The market cap was always a conversation. And that's the whole thing with XRP. How much we gonna have a $10 trillion company?
Yes. We'll have a few of them. Yes. The valuation goes up because of the amount of revenue being brought in.
Ian, what's your thoughts?
Ponzi. You don't think there's going to be a $10 trillion company?
Of course, there's going to be a $10
They're
trillion.
going to
Oh,
afford. There's going, yeah. Of course. And then I want to be clear before y'all get to clipping. Yes, there would be a $10 trillion company.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
there
what
would
that's
be
what we're
debt
answering.
value and silver overinflated. That is bullshit. It's absolute. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be it's of course, because the value of money goes down every single year, and the company. So of course, it's just a matter of when. The question is, how quickly is that going to happen, and at what point is based off of expectation, overvalue.
Oh,
Based off
overvalue.
expectation and everyone who's been invested into them so they can get off the cap table and actually get their investment back. That's the other part that we can't talk about. A lot of these valuations are incredibly high so that they can actually fucking exit.
I'm not arguing that. I mean those are different conversations. The first question was there is going to be a $10 trillion company.
No, there's going to be a $10 trillion company, but what I'm saying is that how quickly, if it's going to, like what I mean by this,
that part we can't.
All right, let's put it in perspective. Yes, there's going to be a $10 trillion. There's going to be a $40 trillion company, not next year. And what I'm saying is that these companies is going from 200 billion to $1 trillion in a year.
So my question: which companies you speaking about? These specific, Micron and SanDisk, or in general?
Well, Micron.
We're taking away.
No, but I'm just saying, just the space in general. We're seeing multi-trillion-dollar companies.
SpaceX.
SpaceX started at multi-trillion. Yeah. So, when we say 10 trillion, are they going to be a $10 trillion company next year? Right? Because at this rate, that's what's happening. That to me seems like it's overvalued. Everything that Ian just said. That's not a healthy growth model. That's hyper growth. And that's not just based off of revenue. That's based off of a lot of speculation and a lot of overpriced. And we saw that with SpaceX. SpaceX is a perfect example of that.
SpaceX is now back over its IPO price in 3 days.
And it's going to drop back again.
That was just after so the thing is this, right? Yes, valuations, some of them have been overextended. That there's no question.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. So like 2 years ago, Micron was a $200 billion company. Now, it crossed the $1 trillion mark. Why? Demand has changed. Technology has changed. What they're now providing to their customer has changed.
And the value is there. There's a lot of companies that don't.
And so here's the thing. Is the demand going to change for the product that they provide?
I'm talking to I'm not speaking on Micron. I'm speaking to the general.
Okay.
Sweet, like this class of companies. Like, SpaceX has bounced up from the level that I said, but it's still underwater. Like the high was 225. And once again, kudos to Elon for getting the shit into perspective. Like the lunar economy is going to be worth more than Earth. When can we say get the fuck out of here? No, it's not. How? You mean to tell me you can't build a data center fast enough in the United States of America and fix all of the roads in Gary and Cleveland? You're not going to build a whole new city that's worth more than New York on Mars. But he got that shit on a perspective. If I said at InvestFest, I'm finna take us to the moon and trade, Big Bank would have shot me off stage.
Allegedly.
Talk to my boy.
Please.
Come on. That's one of the valuation wise. Shot the bank. It was an honor to meet you at the gala. But that's one of the things valuation wise. When people are like, well, he's going to take rockets up there and build a city. No, you're not. No, you're not. If it was us, we would be getting killed in the shade room. The valuations have gone crazy, but do what you want to do.
They have, but we watched that happen with Palantir last week, and I was here saying it. I'm like, look, the valuation has run crazy. I mean, it was at a 200x multiple. It's down to 67, which is still pretty extended, but the stock has gone back up 11%. Why? Because they're starting to show that, okay, it's not just government contracting that we're making money from. We got a multitude of sources that we're making money from, and we're actually seeing a return on investment. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
Carlos, I'm not missing a point with SpaceX. I love you. Not to cut you off a shot. I'm not missing a point. Google.
You didn't even say anything yet.
Google.
No, he said, talking to Carlos.
No, I'm
trying to cut you off.
I'm not missing a point. Dog, I've been investing since 2009. I'm not missing a point. You're missing a point. Listen to me. Respectfully. Like, Okay, I'll do this. Carlos, what would the price be in 2027? I'll put 100,000 up on your price versus mine. Stop talking to me, y'all. I'm not missing no point.
Who Carlos? Who call? I mean, I ain't
My
seen
kid
him.
told y'all. My kid told you this shit was going to 105. Come on, I'm not missing no point. I
Show
know
your face,
people at
Carlos.
SpaceX and Tesla, bro. Stop it. This
Show
is
your
the
face, Carlos. That's just my passion talking.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
so
really
I mean,
I-
Friday was interesting. So that I was paying attention to that. Obviously, with everything going on, it was the first lockup period that expired, so people could actually sell. Now there's like 4 more that are going to happen into October, and what we saw was a nice rebound for all the SpaceX investors. Again, this is a SpaceX. Y'all know I came on.
y'all didn't even know he
pre-IPO.
owned Starlink till I said it 3 years ago. I'm
Pre-IPO.
missing a point. You don't know nobody at fucking Tesla. I was the one who told y'all about the ketamine use 4 years ago. I don't know. Clip him up. Okay, we done. Back to you, Sharma.
You know,
They said bring the old me back for. I don't even be bothered, but I'm controversy. Are Ian, Troy, and Rashad having disagreements because he was missing last week and now he's cutting them off? Danny, flip it up.
and now he's recording live from CNN.
Hello. Broadcasting live. Mark on my head. Come over.
Nightline.
Nightline vibes. Yeah.
You got the Georgia Power building in the back, man.
Nightline.
Shout out to Georgia Power.
Georgia Power won't give any lights free.
Another monopoly. Ooh, boy. Allegedly. In Southern.
Yes, alleged. All alleged.
Let's talk about okay. Well,
you could just go.
Let's go.
Did we skip? Yeah,
getting the family members. How do you get family members to invest? How do you get family members to start investing?
You know what?
Shout out to my son. I'll just start it because he's working his first job, and he got paid. So he tipped me. He was like, "Look, can you take half my paycheck and put it into stock for me?" And so thought that was interesting request.
That's love.
Because usually he's asking me for money to buy clothes. So that's one way, I guess, to how to get family to start investing is to encourage them, open up an account for them, talk about it, have them see you talk about it, have them see some level of success, and then they get encouraged and they want to start on their own from a young perspective. It's always better develop habits when you're young. Whatever you do when you're young usually carries over as you're an adult. It's extremely hard to break bad habits. I think Frederick Douglass said this. It's easier to raise strong boys than to fix broken men. Same could be for girls and women. Start young.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier to mold the mind of a child than change the mind of an adult. But how do you get your family to start investing?
I think you lead by demonstration. And so my kids have watched me every morning before they wake up. They know where I'm at. I'm downstairs. They see me looking at the computer. They see me on CNBC before they wake up. They know what I'm doing. I'm leading by demonstration. They understand what they're invested in. Like I told you, my son, again, he's very proud of his shares in Nvidia, and he should be. And now his thing is, how can he own more Micron? Because he hears me talking about that all the time. My daughter, she likes to have money, and so we've invested for her. And her passion for it isn't the same just yet, but she at least understands what's happening. I couldn't say at 15 years old I even understood what was happening. So the fact that they're doing it, he's 12, she's 15, is incredible. The demonstration is being put forth in front of them. Now, how do you do that to extended family members? I think you just have natural conversations, right? I think, watching this show is a conversation starter. I'll walk in my house and my dad's watching Bloomberg. I don't know if he did that 15 years ago, 10 years ago, but he's doing it now. So he'll throw me nuggets. Like one time he wrote notes because he was watching, couldn't wait for me to come in here to talk about it. So just having natural conversations, you don't want to force it on people. You know how that gets. You're like, oh, he thinks he knows everything. And what you really want to do is try to help. And so you just lead by demonstration. When people have questions, you try to be generous with your time and answer them. But when they start seeing the results through you, then they feel more inclined to participate in as well.
First off, to everyone in the comments, leave my brother Carlos alone. This is a conversation between me and Mama. Viva la raza. So leave my brother alone. Secondly, I'm funny. Third, as we both said, it's always been do it for them and then lead by example. I always say to any parent who asks me, how do I guide Xander? It's by what I do every day, not what I say. Now, it helps when you show them the account, then the count is up. So a hell of a lot. But start it for them. If a person is interested in investing, the best thing you can do is take some of your own money and make the account for them and just let them have it. Or like how your son asks you, hey, take this amount of money and just automatically invest it and then just automate it. Because they don't want to know, even for most people, even placing a trade or a long-term investment versus market order or limit order is very scary. So just do it for them, automate it, and it'll be done. And Carlos, I'm up for debate post-death. In this life, I'm not debating with nobody. Ask Ted Pick.
Yo, hold on. That might be one of the hardest lines I've ever heard, bro. Yo, this man said I'm up for debate post-death. Not in this lifetime. Mike, can that be a ticker right there?
Bro, there's nothing to debate. You deserve to be rich. You deserve to be free. The debating is an exercise for those who don't have enough equity. Ask Ted Pick, CEO of Morgan Stanley, not me, because you don't got to take my black ass opinion, even though I look good in this motherfucking suit, right? Ask Ted Pick, CEO of Morgan Stanley, what the probability is of a lunar economy happening within 15 years that surpasses the GDP of lower firmament Earth. He's one of the financiers. So if my dad, who helped finance my career, my mom tell you, now Ian don't have probability of doing X, Y, Z, you probably should take it because he's invested in it. Ted Pick, ask him if you run into him in New York, what the probability of that's my only debate. I was the one who said he's going to leave Tesla and be chairman of SpaceX and Starlink because he doesn't love Tesla. I know that because I know some of his right-hand men who are at Tesla. So I'm not here to debate. I'm here to help make you rich. I love you.
I think I see you in the
lifetime.
Maybe we'll.
But Anthony, if you're not a stock, if you're not a stock club, come join me. I would love to turn you into a millionaire, my brother. Believe my brother alone.
Red Panda Millionaires. Red Panda Millionaires. 25 slots have been open for 3-year access to Red Panda. First come, first serve. Go to ianinvest.com or scan QR code top screen. And I think a leader never has to tell anybody to follow him. So I think the best way to get your family to start investing is to just to start investing and then become successful as an investor. That's people usually
because they're gonna see the life. They're like, "What you doing?"
100%, 100%. And I feel like if you have a certain level of people around you, going to usually follow whatever you do. If you have a certain level of pizzazz and success, like for me, for instance, right? Like people I've curated, if I'm in a relationship, whatever, people around me, I don't have to tell people certain things. It's just, I haven't seen nobody eat pork around me in years.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just people, and even people would just stop eating pork. I don't drink. I stopped drinking. I haven't really been around alcohol a lot. People kind of just gravitate towards, the vibe that you set in the tone. If I'm in the club every single night taking shots, everybody taking shots, we all taking shots. But I feel like the energy that you put out there, you usually get back. It's you working out, everybody on the workout vibe. Like, what time we working out? What do we doing this? So I think whatever energy you want, I think we overcomplicate things sometimes in life. But you got to be successful. That's important. So first, don't even worry about, I don't want to say like this, but can't worry about saving anybody till you save yourself. once you get your flow going, the other people, they're going to want to do what you do. They're going to see the results of your life changing. They're going to see you losing weight. They're going to see you looking better. They're going to ask you, yo, what are you eating? What are you doing? And then they're going to see you financially in a better space. And they're going to say, what are you doing that I'm not doing? And then they're going to start doing it.
Mm-hmm. It may take them a while. It may take them a while, but they're going to get on board.
Or it may never happen.
And if not, that's fine too.
Yeah, and you got to be good with either way.
But you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people just follow just naturally. You don't got to convince them. You don't got to try to like figure out how, like when they see your life has changed and they see you successful and they see you moving in different environments, they're going to want to.
I don't know, man.
They're going to want to. I've seen it.
I'm just so it would be like,
yeah.
Because that under that like notion, you would think that more people that we know around us in our neighborhoods would have brokerage accounts and would be like investing.
They do. Look at InvestFest. All of the kids. Now you're never gonna say everybody, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying for the most part, like impact, not the kids.
There's a lot of people, bro. Every time I go out, somebody asking me, "Yo, I just put money in the Tesla." They stopping me on the staff. Yo, bro, I just bought my first house. I just did this. I know the impact. I
know the people that's like the closest.
You're talking about the adults.
The adults, like, you know what I'm saying? That's really close to you. Like have access. I shouldn't say closest to us. Have access to us.
The closest people that have access to me is all trading. Shout out to Taylor, my boy. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to, like, these is people that opened up brokerage accounts, that started to trade.
Well, I think we'll say
that's a fact.
But
there's a bunch of people who know us.
Open
but that's what I'm saying.
Here's what I'm saying.
I don't agree with that. That's what I'm saying. I don't agree. That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
I respect your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't agree with that. That's not my reality. I feel like the closest people to me, and it's not a lot, but the closest people to me, not all of them, but the vast majority of them have at the very least made strides into try to better their financial situation. That's what I see.
Yeah. That's not I think some people have. I would assume, right. I would the notion would be that more people would because of how close to the proximity, even from a standpoint, like I was talking about, even the kids who came down from our community, right? Like the fact that the financial education is not even in our high school, our own high school that we went to, tells me like there's still something that's missing there. They should be more advantageous. There should be more people saying like, hey, look at what the guys who came from this school have done. We need to make this an effort to be in, number one, this school district, but also be in this community. Now, we've worked and tried to make strides to do that, but overwhelmingly, because it's so close.
Nationwide.
Right. It's so close to it that it feels like, all right, well, not that it's taken for granted, but it's almost like, oh, I know I can get to them. I can, but people don't do it.
Yeah, I just don't agree with that because I see people, like I said, I seen so many people, man. Shout out to my man Cordell. I went to high school with him, and he stopped me like, "Yo, bro, I just got the house." It happens almost every single day. I go to the gas station. I'm still around the same area, so I see people all the time, and every day, literally, there's somebody that's like, "Yo, I just bought 2 shares of Nvidia. I just opened a brokerage account. I just got a house. Oh, I just did this. I just did that." And like I said, don't have to be big strides, but it's a conversation that was not being had before. 100%.
I can agree with that.
The conversations have changed,
and these are people that I know. But I'm saying
the actions.
These are people that I know, so I know that the influence is like, yo, if he could do it, if he there, he right there. I'm looking at him because that's how we started. That's how I started. I started social media because I was inspired by somebody. Shout out to Val. This is somebody that I grew up with. Somebody that I actually seen every single day, and then she goes viral on social media. And I was afraid to do social media, and I saw her do social media. And seeing her do it, I'm like, I know I can do it.
Yeah.
Not to say that I could do it because I'm smarter, I'm better, whatever. I'm just saying that gave me a level of inspiration that nobody else could give me. That nobody could give me inspiration because I didn't know nobody. She could give me inspiration because I knew her. It's different when you know somebody. If I know somebody is successful, like I know this person. There's no way that if they can go viral, they can get social media, they can do that. I know I can do it. So that's what gave me inspiration. So I know that we're doing the same thing for other people that know us because it happened to me. I'm living proof. I'm living
Troy
proof.
is trying to say, I think everyone isn't as consistent and doesn't work as hard. And the other conversation is a lot of people around us, and it should be more of us at this level, but the work's not being done every day.
Right. Like two different things. Two things that could be like they're not synonymous, right? Has conversations changed? Absolutely. Have people maybe started? Perhaps. Have people been consistent? No. We know pretty much the same people, definitely in our neighborhood for sure. And I'm saying, like, I know these people. The people that you just named, I opened both of their accounts. Like, I literally opened their accounts.
So that goes to
but
show
that's
you
but no. Listen, let me go. That's me saying, like, yo, you need to do this. That's not saying, hey, I'm gonna do it because I'm watching him do it. I'm like, yo, bro, I know you. I want you to be successful. Here, let me help you, which is different from I'm watching it, I'm seeing success. That's something I can replicate.
That's not true. That's not true. Because all these people is calling me saying like, yo, like this is people that's having group meetings, a variety of different people. Everybody is not being told you have to do this. That's not true. It's people that I know.
But that's your reality. No.
That's what I'm saying. I can only speak for my reality.
Yeah, but you can't say it's not true for me.
But we talking about people. We know the same people.
Yeah, but
I know the same people.
But it might be two different interactions that you're having. You can't say that's not true for me. That literally is true for me.
But we saying the same people, and I'm saying that's not the reality of the situation. Because I noticed we know the same people.
I can name 10 people right now, and we could do this after, but that don't have brokerage accounts that we know now.
So you saying that
right now.
And there's other part. So some of them do be lying. Now I'm not saying people I know.
Not even lying. I know for a fact.
But I know some people even in my circle when it was time to, let's say, be a part of a project that may have been across, and I'm like, yo, it's XYZ. And they've been telling me all this big money bag shit for the last 2 years. And it's like, yo, it's 50 to invest in this company. It's like tapped. I'm like, I thought you had 9,000 shares. What happened? So I'm not speaking to y'all.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is this. The bottom line is that there should be more. I want to see more. That's it.
What I'm saying, Ian, the question is, how do you get your family to start investing, right? All I'm saying is be the shining light. Is everybody going to follow the shining light? Of course not. But most of the time, if somebody's not serious about their future, then you can't help them anyway. But people need to be inspired. You're from East Chicago, Indiana, right? So I'm pretty sure, I don't even know how often you go back to East Chicago, Indiana. There's people in East Chicago, Indiana that's looking, no, it's real shit because he lives in Houston. But there's people in
somebody text us.
There's people in East Chicago, Indiana that's looking at you that may not have ever had any inspiration. And they like, yo, there's no way if he could come from East Chicago, Indiana, went to whatever high school you went to, I know for a fact I can do this. I know I can do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, never discount
Gary.
All I'm saying is this. Never discount the inspiration that you have, even if somebody never told you that. You don't know the impact that you have on people's lives because everybody's not even going to tell you. You don't even know. But like I said, I know for a fact because it changed my life. That inspiration, motivation from watching somebody that I know from my neighborhood that did something that changed my life. So all I'm saying is this: how to get your family started in investing. Yeah, you could teach them, you can send stuff, but I think the best way is demonstration. Demonstration, and then people. Just let me finish. That's the best way to do it because ultimately, the people that's serious don't need to be told. They're gonna follow a leader.
If you go back, and I want y'all to do this on Market Mondays, go back to 15 minutes and literally listen to what I just said. I literally said demonstration is the best way to do it.
That's what I just said.
But let me finish. What I'm saying is that even with the demonstration, more people should be participating. And they're not participating because I'm talking to these people. I know they haven't done it. The bottom line is, should we have more people doing it? Yes. Are people who have access to us doing it? Some are. More should be. That's all I'm saying.
That's a relative conversation.
That's all I'm saying.
You can't really say more is if you don't have money, you can't invest. You don't know what somebody's going through. If there's a lot of people that's investing, we know the stats. More people are investing now than ever before.
I know that. there's no debate on that. That's a general overall. I'm saying close perimeter, access to us, even in our community, right? We can talk about school, we can talk about the community, we can talk about all the things, community colleges, local municipalities, all these things play a part in our community. It should be more. That's all. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
There should always be more.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's what I'm saying.
But there's a lot more now than there was before.
And we still are behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still have a long way to go. So keep demonstrating.
Well, one of my favorite moments of this weekend, hard segue. We're seeing all the amazing people. So shout out to all of you who came to Invest Fest, who came to learn, who came to earn. Shout out to the introverts who were finding ways to network. I think both things can be true. Is there more ground that we have to cover? Yes, but look, Rashad, to your point, I remember being here 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and people I was like, yo, I trade futures and I invest in indexes. They was like, Future the rapper? It's been progress made. Like, we have to be thankful.
That's what I'm saying. Not to cut you off.
This is perfect. This is perfect. You've been demonstrating for 15 years, yeah? For 10 of that 15, let's say 8 of that 15, even though you were demonstrating, were they following through on that demonstration? Right? And you were successful at it.
Yeah.
We just saw
you know what I'm saying?
We just saw an event with 30,000 people. Let's put things in perspective, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put things in perspective, right? Sometimes in life, we just got to put things in perspective. There's no event in America for retail investors, traders, people looking for business financial literacy that's bringing out that type of numbers, let alone 95% of the people that's coming are Black people, right? We're making progress. And that's a direct correlation of people seeing success, following through, and wanting to better their situation. The demonstration works. It's a workable model. Can it be better? Can more people join? Of course. But to this day, the most successful way to get people to follow your lead, and what's been proven in human history, is to have a successful track record. And that's InvestFest is a perfect example of that. 30,000 people came to learn about business, financial literacy, and investing. That's impossible. That's unheard of 10 years ago. Now it's normalized.
I think you're missing it. I really think you're missing
it. What's your thoughts?
Because here's the thing.
What's your thoughts?
Let me say this. He's been successful, right?
They follow it. That's what I'm saying. He just spoke in front of 12,000 people because they follow his demonstration.
We have 30,000 and let you speak.
Well, in the one room, I'm just putting it in perspective.
InvestFest is
30 for sure, but we're doing by room.
Now are you going to allow me to speak?
I'm just asking. He just made commentary. I'm just following his commentary.
I'm kindly asking if you're allowing me to.
You're speaking.
But you're speaking. So I'm
not speaking. I'm literally not speaking. You're speaking. Go ahead. You have the floor. The floor is yours.
Okay. Ian, you've been demonstrating for most of your life. 2008.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You've been successful at it. Right?
Yes.
You've had people around you. Some have watched you do this. I would assume most people that you know didn't follow that lead, even though you were successful in demonstrating at it.
Yeah.
Now, there's been a financial revolution over the past 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
There's a platform to demonstrate that. That has made progress. Yeah?
Yeah,
more
for
people
sure.
Overall are part of that conversation. More people overall, right, are making decisions to open brokerage accounts. Those same people that were around you 15 years ago, they might have gotten inspired because they saw other people do it, or they might have just said, all right, he's going to keep winning. And what I'm saying is, right, we need more of that close perimeter that have access.
Because we only got 3 years. And the reason why they're going back and forth about this, we got 2 years and some change left. And for those of you who don't know, brothers argue, and this is what real conversation like. Y'all are so used to a curated conversation from people who don't have equity in the things that they're doing that they can't have a real conversation. They got to be fake. This is what now. If we bring AB in and 19 Keys and me and Ty, you should have seen some of me and Rashad's early conversations. Brothers have arguments, yo. And for those who like, go to the next segment. No,
this is not an argument.
No, we're gonna stay right here.
Yeah, that's not. This is not even an argument.
So what's the final? What's your final thought on one sentence? How to get family to start investing?
Do it for them because they probably won't do it for themselves. But back to blackout, like shout to Queen of Fool, like she told the ladies, "Hey, if you want your man to be healthier, maybe bring him the juice or the water." It's the same thing for the men. If you want your family to be free, and this is what I've done for my family, the money's already set aside for the family members I care about. So do it for them and tune into Market Mondays and join Stock Club.
And if not,
so what's your sentence on how to get your
my
family?
sentence is the same sentence I started with.
I'm just asking you a question. I'm finishing the segment. We're finishing the segment. And he asked, so what's the question? What is the sentence?
Bro, listen to what you just did. I'm answering the question and you cut me off to say that.
You said mine is the same thing. I'm just asking the question.
Finish. I said my sentence is the same one I started with. If you would let me finish, my sentence was the same one I started with. If you want your family to invest, lead by demonstration. That's what I started with.
Okay, so you pretty much said the same thing I said. So what's the year in S&P for target? What's the year in target for the S&P?
That is insane.
A few people have it spiking up to 8. Troy, you listen. I'll allot my time toward if you like.
Say it again.
I'll give you my time if you want a final commentary
on what
previous. Never mind. Anyway, yeah. For me, I know some people are for SPY saying it's going to go to 800. I think that's kind of obvious. My end of year target is 835.45. So let's say $835. I think we could round up there. I think we may have a pullback, of course, in this beautiful month of August, but I don't think we're going to slow down anytime soon. And I think SPY will end up at 835 or 83.50 to round up end of year.
Yeah, I think I gave a number last week. I think I was at 8,100 for the end of the year target. So yeah. I'm gonna stick with that. I know
it's on the same range.
Yeah, July was an abnormal month in terms of the downside that we saw, and so August I always feel like I know it can get really choppy leading into September. So it's crazy that this week is like mid-September. It's mid-August this week, right? We're at the 15th of the month. We're mid-month. And usually that third week of August leading into September is real choppy. Obviously, we got Nvidia coming up at August 26th. And so we'll see, man. But I think by the end of the year, we're sitting in a pretty good position with the S&P. I got 8,100. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. Rashad isn't out of control. I'm going to tell y'all a little media secret that I learned from Rashad. He'll play villain at the time when the numbers need the villain role to be played. Me personally, look, I'll play the villain early, right? On the back half of the ninth. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's spike it up. If there's no conflict, make a conflict.
Look, listen, let me tell you something. This is not spiking up. This is, I know this, I've done this with this guy for over 30, over 30 years. When he tries to make his point, it's going to go up here, right? And I'm going to just stay right here. And then he's going to go here and he's going to cut. This is how, but in debates, and this is like, yo, he's the third child, I'm a third child. Yo, we got to get our point across because they always feel like, we're going to get our point across. We have that in common. We go about it in two different ways. But, bro, this is my brother. Like, yo, stop. Let's stop. Yeah. I know him. His mom probably watching it like, she's laughing. My parents upset. We good. Just relax. This is not an argument.
Watch the show.
And enjoy it.
It's entertainment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, blackout Wednesday at 9 o'clock. No guest, myself and Ian. A lot of topics to cover. Thursday, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Earn your leisure, Miss Business episode. Yeah. And do remember, InvestFest tradition. Ian following his amazing performance at InvestFest. Amazing performance. If you haven't seen it, it was an hour long, gym packed, nonstop, just him. We do this every single year. We've done this for the last couple of years. 3-year access to Stock Club, 25 slots only. A cohort for 2026, 25 slots only, and that grants you 3-year access to Stock Club. Why 3 years? Because you have 3 years left or before it's over. And after 3 years, you're going to be broke forever. See, the thing about being a bad guy, you got to lean into it. You got to lean into being a bad guy. You got to see, a lot of y'all are afraid to be the bad guy, but you losing as the good guy. Think about it. You got to lean. If you go, whatever you're going to do it all the way. Go all the way.
Do unapologetically that. Yep.
And that's why even in the radio, I with 19 Keys, he told me we did the radio interview, and he was like, Troy was talking about the Atlanta, so he's like, he's like, and I was waiting for your response. And he's like, I loved your response because you was like, we ain't going. We going to double dip. Because if somebody don't like you, they're not going to like you anyway.
And from a brand lesson, this is really important. You can never be vanilla. I wasn't picking on the brother Carlos, but my thing is like, if I do all of this work, you see how much preparation I did just for a 1-hour presentation. To learn investing like the back of my hand, it's almost offensive to tell me that I don't know something about a company that I was studying 5.5 years ago when nobody was talking about it. So you got to be all in on that thing. When I'm a baby face, I'm a baby face. When I'm a heel, I'm all the way heel. But the worst thing you can do as a brand is be vanilla. Whether you like me or love me, there's very few people in the world in the middle of me. It's power in that. It's a lot of money and monetization and being very black or very white in your brand space.
That's it. I ain't never really want to make no friends anyway. People I'm around, that's family. Ian, that's family. Troy, that's family. I'm an introvert. I ain't trying to make no friends with you anyway, to be honest with you.
Listen,
but that's liberating.
Listen,
that's actually a liberating feeling. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to make you like me. If you don't like me, that's perfectly fine. I'm never gonna try to convince somebody that doesn't like me why they should like me. It doesn't have any impact on my life at all.
I want to take this moment to let y'all know that I love y'all all, man, and we're gonna leave with positive energy. Because it was a historic weekend. I called him this morning to tell him how historic it was. And Ian, I didn't get a chance to call you, but I did see you in the lobby because obviously you're a major part of making this historic. There's a couple of people we got. I want to thank before we get out of here. And yeah, this is work ethic at its finest, right? Like y'all watched us. The cameras wasn't even working at 7:59, but we had to come on here and talk to the people because it's important and it's part of the regimen, right? Like people have watched us for 7 years do this. Obviously, it was a big moment for us, but we wanted to hear and give y'all the feedback. But number one, I want to thank everybody that came out. I'm telling you, like, if you look at the internet prior to us getting to Atlanta, you would have thought it was a different perception. Once we touched down, it was absolutely nothing but love and support. And that's because all the people that are watching here and all the people that came to InvestFest made sure that y'all covered us, obviously with your prayers, your well wishes, but so much love, man. Y'all showed so much love. The team that put it together, obviously, y'all already know our brothers MG and Mike, Ab for sure. Shout out to Magda, shout out to Tiffany and her team. Our event team for VIP night, incredible job. All our hosts, they were up there for 2 days. So shout out to basketball. Shout out to the entire team, man. It was incredible. Shout out to our families. Obviously, my wife, she's like, yo, we can actually sit down for 2 seconds and just enjoy life. So I'm happy to get back to that because it is a lot. It is we prepared 12 months for 3 days, which I know most people can understand. But outside all the other things that we have going on, this is at the forefront, and it's a big weight to carry. But we do it, and we do it at the highest level. So I want to congratulate you, Shadi. I want to congratulate you, Ian, and everybody involved with InvestFest for making it a successful year. Not one incident, nothing but positivity, nothing but learning, nothing but information, nothing but networking, nothing but people connecting at the highest level. Excellence, opulence, decadence. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Well, not decadence.
Could be all.
Well, real quick, I want to thank my family for being there.
I wanted to say shout out to the sponsors.
Yes.
And shout out to the vendors, and shout out to GWCC, the building that we hold it in. Shout out that those people are very important.
Yep.
The police department. Thank you to the police department. Thank you to everybody. The AV team, sanitation department. Those people are important for sure. All the volunteers.
Absolutely.
Vitally important. There was so many volunteers that took time out of their schedule that helped the event be successful. And a lot of them are from EYO University. So thank you to the volunteers. For every year we get new volunteers.
Absolutely.
More and more volunteers.
Absolutely.
They're volunteers. They don't get paid, but they get the experience. They get so sometimes that's a thankless job when you're not actually even getting, because you can say, okay, at least you're getting paid for it, even if you don't get thanked. But if you don't get paid and you really don't get thanked, then it's really, a thankless job.
Fact.
Shout out to the volunteers. We don't never take them for granted. They definitely help move the engine for sure.
Yeah.
But Ian, I'm sorry. What were you about to say, Ian?
No, sorry. I just wanted to thank my family and friends for showing up for me. I know it was a crazy weekend. I appreciate y'all so much. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank my Speaker Box media family. I want to thank Mike. Diana, thank you for getting the flicks together, the stylist, everybody who helped me put the vision together, because it really takes a team. Jay Burke for putting the presentation together. And because I changed it 2 days before. He's like, bro, we're done. I'm like,
no, we're not.
all like on threads. No, you're not. Sorry. He on Saturday, like, bro, bro, he just had a birthday. Happy belated birthday to my brother Elvin. He like, bro, I'm celebrating. I'm like, I gotta get the slides, bro. I pay extra, whatever we gotta do. But and then the vision, and then ATL Drum Academy. That's the part people don't see. We're like on some Leo-ish for real. I'm like, let's change the whole show. Even before we went on stage, the AB team like, this to run the show. I'm like, Ty, now what you think about this? Ty, like, oh my God, bro, I gotta. But it worked.
These are all facts. Yeah. Shout out to Paige. I said the whole shout out to Paige, who's been hosting for the past couple of years. Shout out to P, Dom, Tashawn, Rel. Our young guys from our neighborhood came out and just, man, they led by demonstration. It's amazing to watch these kids that we've been around their lives since they were like 8, 9 years old. We had them in our program when they were 14, and now they have responsibilities at InvestFest, and they've done them to the highest level. Incredible job. Shout out to Bam holding down the booth over at EYL. It was just amazing, man. A lot of people have really had some really strong words about how powerful it was to see it in person. I love when newcomers come to the event for the first time and really just take it all in and say, wow, this is what I keep hearing about, and are just blown away, man. So that's music to our ears. So more history to make, and we couldn't have done it without y'all, because we made the history with y'all. We thank y'all. We love y'all. Be good to each other. Show love to each other. Me and Shadi about to box right after this, so we gonna leave y'all that. Love is love. Happy birthday, Miles. My nephew turned 15 on Thursday. Love is love.
Go to IanInvest.com. Secure your spot. 25 spots. We'll see you on Blackout at 9:00 on Wednesday.
T-Law, I love you. Don't speak on my name. Your life is ill-fitted.